on the old, Tuesday-Thursday schedule. Okay, here we go. Game number 2, MBL and Spring. You can see on the scoreboard that MBL took game number 1. He took it pretty early and pretty often. Surprisingly, after losing a villager to the boar, MBL was able to be the aggressor and win. I'd love to see MBL play more aggressive in the future, but he's just so damn good at, I think, playing rather defensively for the most part. Spring is usually super, super aggressive. Let's look at his map. He's going to have his gold to the side, very wallable right-hand flank of his map if he wants to do it. 2 stone piles on the front for Spring. All in all, somewhat defensible map. Very thin wood line. So Cav Archer or Archer raiding could be a problem here at some point in the match. This wood line is also good and should be safe, but it's also thin. So keep that all in mind. But I think Spring's got a fine map here. Just a fine map, I would say. Red player will be the bye-bye man, aka MBL. Should have a nice wood line on the back later in the game, but his first wood will come up on the front. Berries to the side, stone to the side. MBL's got a gold pile in the back corner. This is not a map that I can foresee him like fully walling up, which MBL often does in a 1v1. But it's not a bad map by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I would foresee a town center somewhere here. I think there's flat enough ground. And I think he can protect all of this. I don't think there's going to be any massive issues, but I think it's a nice game, nice match. Maybe Spring's map is a little more fun or a little better for the Feudal Age, but MBL's map I think might be a little better after Feudal. Anyway, Huns War, 12 villagers for each player at the moment. Both guys searching around their side of the map pretty intensely, finding those resources. We'll see if they push a few deer. I'm expecting, well, 3 vills on wood from Spring, so I'm expecting some scouts from him, and the same from MBL. No big surprise there. No big shock. I would be rather surprised if they didn't go with scouts in this particular game. Anyway, what's going on in the chat? Vubli Kappa, or rather Kappa Pride for Eddie, indeed. Viper's the type of guy to fart quietly, blaming the dog. I don't even know what that says about a person's character. But yeah, Viper was a really cool guy. Drank several beers with the Viper. Gotta say, he's a cool dude, man. He's a cool dude. Lost a couple arm wrestling matches to Jordan, but had just an absolute ton of fun. Got to really get to know Zach, which I thought would be weird. I was like, yeah, we're both nerds. We're going to be here working together for a couple days, just be the two of us. It's going to be awkward, right? Because we've never met. It wasn't awkward. It's really strange. It's really strange. We just bonded and had some good old-fashioned man love right away. Well, don't quote. No, that's not what I meant. Damn. Anyway. Looks like we will see MBL on 18 villagers, still pushing in deers, luring in the boars. Nothing too crazy on this side of the map. MBL has not scouted forward, and neither has Spring. Spring-a-ling at the moment is still pushing in deer. Nothing crazy going on. 19 pop, loom coming for the blue player. MBL will go with a 20 pop, I suppose, before going up. MBL looks to be going to 20 and then probably to loom and then up. Spring will be the first one up. It was so awkward that it wasn't awkward anymore. Zero Empire still here? Question mark. Exposed. I like this quote from Jose. I don't know what it means, but Viper's the type of guy to fart quietly and blame the dog. That's really funny. Anyway, Feudal Age count over both guys. MBL will actually be up on 21 villagers. Did he loom? Yes, he did. Loomed up 21 vills. Spring, ooh, Spring. Spring is up on 19 vills, but he's sending 3 vills over to gold. So he could be going fast archers here. I'm not sure. Seems like an interesting build-up. Certainly has a wallable map on this side, so he doesn't have to pour a bunch of scouts out. He can play this a little defensively. 3 vills on gold at this point could mean men-at-arms, but I would expect the barracks to be up by now if he was going men-at-arms. So let's learn something from Spring right here, right now. 19 villagers going up. And, yeah, we'll see. Feudal Age is in. Archery range is down. And, yeah, it's going to be fast archers for the most part. MBL on his side will be up in just a moment. Besides Eddie, who's your biggest man crush now, says Reaper. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about that for a moment. Let's see. Spring Scout just makes it into MBL's economy. MBL will drop a stable. Nothing too surprising about that in a Huns war. Looks like MBL will get the first poke in scout-wise, so we will see Spring on the retreat. Spring back at home is going to add in what I think is a second archery range. There you go. Does not have a spearman out yet, so he's going to defend this with archers for the moment. Maybe a spear once he can confirm that his opponent is going into scouts. MBL is... Did he build a spear? I'm really curious to know that. Yeah, MBL built a spear, and now he's building a second. So Spring here is catching MBL off guard. Of course, spearmen aren't going to do anything against archers, but spears are like almost every Huns war where you go 19 pop up. I shouldn't say that. Every Huns war when I go 19 or 20 pop, 21 pop up, I'm going scouts. And MBL is anticipating that here. He's built a couple of spears to defend himself, which normally would be a great decision, but against archers, not going to be so great. Spring's still running around doing some scouting, grabbing, fletching. Gonna have actually a decent number of archers here. 5, 6, 7 archers probably before MBL marches in. Fletching is done. 4 villagers out to gold. I like Spring's initiative here. Let's see what he can get done. All that being said, he does need a spearman on this woodline, right? I mean, he either needs to be fully walled or he needs something in defense because these villagers are totally exposed. I mean, we've got 4 scouts coming forward for MBL, and we've got nothing here to defend. There we go. Spearman on the way. Blue player with a spear on the way. If he jumps in the TC now, he can do some damage. We'll grab a little bit of damage, especially with fletching onto MBL's scouts here. Actually, quite a lot of arrow fire raining in. MBL does a fly by the woodline, but he's not going to get much done here. Don't think MBL can get anything done. Spring's reinforcements will come in to try to deal with this. Spearman takes down 1 scout. Second scout goes down. MBL is pretty much out of luck on this side. In the meantime, Spring gets in with archers onto MBL's berries. Again, just 5 archers here. Nice quick gating from MBL, but he's going to lose a couple vills for sure. Spring's trying to get in front of these villagers. No, he's getting around the gate. Doesn't lose a single archer here. Microing away, doing damage. He's got MBL in a really bad spot. Can grab another villager. Does grab another villager. Should kill a few more, I think, before MBL responds with a couple skirms. This is a great bit of damage from Spring. Like I was saying before, Spring is a phenomenal offensive player, and he is getting a lot of damage done right now. On the other side, MBL is able to get in and get 1 villager here. No, 2 villagers there, which is not... That's really surprising. I mean, Spring should be able to fight this back with vills and a couple archers, but I think Spring is in a much better spot. Still has archers inside of MBL's eco. MBL now out with +1. So those skirmishers should do some good damage, but Spring's still harassing from the side. In the end, these scouts are going to actually... Are they going to live? Man, living on 2 HP and 4 HP respectively. Spring really caught MBL with his pants down, but I think he lost more than he should have on that back wood line. MBL fighting uphill here, does have some skirms out to counter these archers, but Spring microing around somewhat nicely, I would say. Putting down some damage, making MBL earn it. MBL is doing what I thought he couldn't. In the early game, I told you that this was going to be not a wallable map. But man, that is a massive bit of walling coming in from MBL. Lou Roll is here. Hey. Hello, Lou. MBL with AI walls. Indeed. Let's see. It's even, but MBL can scout now. Even on 33 vills for now, yeah. That really surprises me. Spring really caught MBL off guard. I think he should be leading by a lot more. MBL had 2 scouts on this wood line, and somehow Spring lost a few villagers. I think he could have fought that. Rip. Oh no, did we rip? Did we die? How did you get into AoE casting? Just looked like fun, so I decided to go for it. Don't know if we dropped for a moment there. Hopefully the stream is okay. Thanks for the follows, Yusu and Sever and Retro. Welcome to the channel. And Jose. Looks like Spring will come forward with another group of archers. MBL fully walled in for now. You guys will have to tell me if the stream is back up. I hope it's okay. I hope we're doing okay. MBL's gone full skirms, and all of a sudden, this game that I thought Spring could win by doing some early damage looks a little bit more like a stalemate. 300 food, 150 gold in the bank for Spring. MBL's behind on those resources for now. Archer rolls in to do a little bit of damage here, but not too much. The drop frames are real, but not completely ripped. I think you dropped some frames. Stream's working fine. Watching 1080p. Cool, cool. Yeah, I saw my my OBS go to red for a moment there, which is always a bad sign. Anyway, looks like MBL will even trap this army. So, man, I think he's in a fine spot all of a sudden. These archers, which would have been crossbowmen for Spring, which would have been a nice icing on the cake, are all going to get crushed into this corner and killed for very cheap. Very, very cheap victory for Spring on that side. 700 food, 200 gold, more archers on the way for Spring. Gonna start stonewalling himself in. Like I said, he's got a good early game map. This gold is safe. Woodlines aren't so bad. This woodline's okay as well. But not the greatest late game map. I think MBL's map is a lot better for the late game. Castle Age coming, third archery range coming, Spring coming forward with another group of archers, 10 more of those, soon to be crossbows. Should push through MBL's walls really quickly. And man, if he hits like the center of this wall, he should be able to push in. We'll have to see a panic tower, I think, from MBL, who's got 150 stone. MBL took some stone, and I'm not exactly... Oh no, that's just what's left over. It's going to need a panic tower, I think, like here. As soon as Spring starts pushing on these walls, I think MBL should build that. Spring, for now, though, is hiding in the wings, waiting for his Castle Age upgrade, I guess. Going to push in when he has crossbowmen. MBL on the other side, trying to get in with a couple of skirmishers, but not going to do too much damage. Welcome to the channel, Devin Backup. Welcome, welcome. Well, I watched it on 2 different connections and both ripped a bit. Yeah, we definitely did lose some frames on our side for show, faux show. Why 2 connections? Ah, that's a good point. Are you padding my viewership, Reaper? I appreciate that. We need every padded viewer we can get. Lou, it's good to see you, buddy. I don't know if I gave you a proper hello, but welcome to the channel, Lou. Hate to say it, Lou, but this is the last game of the day for me. This is going to be the last one. I'm a bit sick. Wanted to get in here and do some games. Had kind of a rough, annoying day, and I was just like, you know what, screw it. I got to get online and do a couple games. Probably log out of here, eat some more food, tinker around with my hotkeys. Talking with Nilly this week made me feel like, man, I need to think more deeply about my hotkeys. Anyway, crossbowmen coming, bodkin arrow and thumb ring. Spring was hiding that army until the right moment, and now he's ready to push in. Spring would do really well to push in right here, but of course he doesn't know that yet. He's going to head to the back of the map and push in, but that's going to be a terrible location for him because there'll be a town center here and maybe even like a quick market or something here. That would just be so ugly for Spring. This army would have to poke in and then poke back out. Looks like he's going to go straight for the wood line, see if he can grab a juicy villager or 2. He will grab those vills. Dead even on villager count right now. Spring with the crossbows, but MBL has now built up an army. So MBL's ready to take this on. Welcome to the channel, Ozvugkug. God damn, that's a tough name. Spring will push through. Nice location. TC is up approximately where we thought it would go, actually. Sometimes I guess correctly. MBL responding with an army, so we're going to see Spring get out of dodge for now. Spring had a window there in the feudal age, but he waited for Castle, wanted to get the crossbowmen upgraded and the extra range and damage from Bodkin, which is fine. I think he would have done more damage, but hindsight's always 20/20. Spring hanging out on the hill, poking in from one side and then getting out on the other. Gonna make MBL's army yo-yo back and forth, but he doesn't want to take any fights here. Certainly doesn't want any fights. I heard a stable coming up for Spring. MBL still has his initial stable. Both guys probably transitioning into Cav Archers. Siege Workshop coming for Spring. Bloodlines coming for him to beef up those CA. MBL on the other side is... he's doing fine, I think, versus this rating. doing just fine. Going Cav Archer himself should be okay. Gonna hemorrhage a villager or two here and there. But, you know, all in all, I think MBL is in just a fine spot. A little bit on the ropes, a little bit defensive, but I've absolutely felt worse situations. So I think it's all good in the hood. No bloodlines for the red player. Bloodlines is in for blue. Spring will come forward, I think he'll send a Mangonel forward at some point. First one might hang around in defense, but I think Spring needs to sense what's going on and see if he can push in. At the moment, MBL is +4 villagers because he's got an extra town center. MBL loves to play... Ooh! First Mangonel shot sails a little bit tall, but you know what? This is going to be just fine. That Mango is going to be a honeypot that's going to get this army into a bad position, and they're all going to get cleaned up for really cheap. Great fight for MBL. You don't have to get a big hit, a big bada boom with the Mango. In that case, just luring that army closer, crushing it between two rocks. Absolutely fine. Spring right now is on 20 military, mostly crossbows, is coming forward to try to do something. Still just 1 TC, very little map control for Spring. He's in one of these positions where he's got to either expand his economy, which he might do after grabbing some stone, or make a push. And I don't think he can really do either of those safely. I don't think he can make a real push here because MBL seems to have more Cav Archers. Seems to be getting Spring's goat at the moment. So, you know, maybe he can come out with a town center soon. Spring's certainly going to need more wood and more stone. Handcart is coming in, though. Bloodlines for MBL on the way. And we'll see. We'll see how this fight goes. Continued raiding from the blue players. Still chopping some villagers down here and there. Gotta give him some credit for that. Grabbing villagers hither and thither. 7 villagers ahead is MBL. But, you know, Spring's keeping him on a short leash. This TC on the back is a really good one. MBL should be really safe there for quite some time. Another town center, maybe somewhat soon. No, guess not. Let's see. Yeah, MBL needs quite a bit more stone. Looks like Spring will push through the other side. Double Mangonels over there. MBL will have 1 Mango of his own. Ballistics on the way. Second Mango as well, actually, for the red player. So Spring's going to have some trouble, I think, pushing into this. But we'll see what he can get done. For now, actually, Spring will retreat back because MBL's army is on the loose and Spring has sensed it. Those Cav Archers are rather numerous. Looks like about 14 to me. Could be wrong. +2/+2 damage on those. Bloodlines is in. Pretty beefy units, and like we said, these woodlines are pretty thin. Spring here defending with a Mango might get a pretty good shot in. We shall see. Blue player responding really intensely to that group. What he isn't responding to is the group of crossbows on the top. Hasn't noticed them just yet. Couple Mango shots raining in. MBL actually will grab 2 Mangonels. Will take a bit of damage, but I think if he gets out of dodge now, it's probably okay for him. Spring bringing the Mangonels back, but just a moment too late to get a good Mangonel shot. The Fire Nation. Hey, Killer Bean, I hear your voice again. No thick woodlines. The Fire Nation. I met the Fire Nation this week. You know what's weird? I thought that Fire Nation, back when you and I were playing against each other in HD, was your clan. I was like, oh, this guy, because it's like, isn't it Poppy, the Fire Nation? I was like, oh, this guy's name is Poppy, and his clan is the Fire Nation. Well, anyway, I screwed it up. I screwed a lot of things up, guys. I screwed a lot of things up in my life. Perfect replacement for Morgan Freeman. Spring has map control still. Spring only winning through scouting. Spring does have a little map control. I know your message was from a little bit ago, but I think he's still in it. I'm liking MBL's position more and more as that villager count continues to grow. Spring lost 3 Mangoes. He's still got 1, still camping this hill. He does control enough map, I think, to get another town center down somewhat soon. Certainly has the wood for it, just needs a bit more stone. I think Spring can take over a little map control and push this to the later game. He's going to need to win this much later on, I would say. Sending a ton of villagers out here to a totally clandestine area of the map. But I think he could have gotten a town center here if he wanted. There's a lot of villagers for a 3-piece gold pile. But I think Spring here will eventually expand that into some of those villas building a town center. Good fight for Spring on this hill, doing a little bit of damage, pushing MBL, keeping him into a corner. MBL's got an army hidden here on the side, keep that in mind. Mango trades continue to come in. Looks like the blue player will grab this mango eventually. Quite a bit of damage coming in from that particular mangonel. 20 villagers ahead is MBL as he retreats back into his base. Military size for Spring is +7. Got a couple of skirmishers mixed in, couple mangonels mixed in. Does not seem to be in such a bad place. It was the other way around, but I can understand. The poppy is just a running gag with my Discord. Yeah, that really confused me, but I'm learning, slowly figuring things out. Yeah, these villagers are just taking gold the old-fashioned way on the corner. Actually seems to be going okay. They're not too badly bumping into each other. MBL sending in a group of 10 cav archers. We'll keep an eye on those. Let's see, mangonels from Spring on the front don't have any villagers alongside them to repair, so they're not able to get too much done. Knight out for MBL to soak up some arrow fire. Yeah, MBL is just really buying himself a ton of time. He's 20 villagers ahead of Spring right now. Seems to be absolutely in fine shape. Spring with quite a few skirmishers protecting this gold pile on the left flank of his base. It's all good for now. Spring's still alive, but I feel like MBL is just trying to hold, keep himself afloat, you know, build up more villagers. Should be able to click Imp relatively soon. Has 3 town centers cranking. Has actually a lot of safe eco. Just seems to be sort of lulling his opponent into a sleep. Pyramid Stiff doesn't get the pyramid. Oh, bummer. Bummer, dude. MBL will probably win with macros as Desheshe. Yeah, I think he will. I think he's in a good spot to do that. There are 2 things I love, AOC and pyramids. I don't know why pyramids are so popular, but I'm fine with it. Pyramid away, friend. This is a small enough channel, I think that it's okay. Pretty good mango shot into the middle of that group from Spring. Actually, a couple good mangonel shots, but in the end, skirmishers are not enough to deal with the knights from MBL. MBL will push this forward away. Spring will try to raid on the other side, I suppose, with a couple skirms, sending forward more units to the middle of the map to try to hold the line. Spring did get a town center out there on the front. I like that a lot. I think he'll be in fine shape. Still a 20 villager chasm between these 2 players, but yeah, you know, MBL will click up any second. Spring can click up somewhat soon. I know his food is really low, but he's got quite a few villagers cranking. He can either try to make a castle play or he can try to save up and click up. MBL, notably, still hasn't clicked. So Spring here, yeah, there you go. MBL clicking just now. Spring will have a momentary window, I think, where he should have enough resources to make a bit of a push and do some damage, but a 4th town center now for the red player. Is that 4 or is that 3? That's just 3. 3 TCs for MBL. Has a safe wood line, some safe farming area. We'll lose this gold on the front for a moment, but we'll respond with more cav archers. Looks like it's going to be knights from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stables for the red player. Going to try to snipe down some mangoes while he can. Just trying to hold the line while the Imperial Age upgrade comes in. Chain barding armor on the way. Spring is, well, he's still taking over some map. 3rd town center is up on the front. This isn't the worst position to be in, but I don't know if he has a good answer for knights. Spring is actually on 1, 2, 3, is he on 4 TCs? No, 3 TCs. Man, I can't count. I swear it's the sickness. It's the itis that I got. Knights popping out, grabbing down a couple mangonels. Really expensive exchange there for Spring. 40 military, mostly cav archers for the blue player. Bloodlines +2/+2. Definitely not an army that you're going to sneeze at, but soon Imperial Age will come in, and I do think these knights will become Cavalier, and it will probably be the beginning of the end or the end of the end. But Spring has a few more moments. Hopefully he runs these cav archers in now. He's only got a few more minutes here before Cavalier is in. Looks like Spring's reluctant to dive in, but hopefully he will soon. A little bit of raiding out on this wood line. Gotta love that. Cav Archer versus Cav Archer on that side. Spring will grab a couple vills. He'll actually be up by a few villagers here. Imperial Age comes in. Cavalier on the way from MBL. Oh no! MBL's going Cavalier on this front stable. If Spring had one more mangonel in this area, he could stop it. That seems like an unnecessary risk from MBL. I mean, any of these stables would have been a better choice. In the end, it is going to be 580 HP, so this will stand. No siege in this jurisdiction, so it's going to be fine. But man, what an unnecessary risk. Scale Mail Armor on the way for Spring, Plate Barding, and Cavalier coming for MBL, and he should, once this Cavalier upgrade finishes, he should be able to steamroll. Looks like 40 military, mostly Cav Archers still for the bye-bye man, but soon I think he will go up to a couple more, several more Cavalier. Good raiding from Spring on the side, able to kill about a half dozen villagers here. MBL responding with some skirms and sending a couple Cavalier that direction as well. Pikeman coming out for Spring, going to try to hold the line for now. Actually is clinging nicely to this hill with a pretty good sized army. Let's see, Spring, are you clicking up soon? No, Spring is making a castle play here, and he seems to be all in the castle age. Killer B, there's quite some reverb. Grass muted. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, my room here is a little echoey. That could be the issue. Grass reverb. Is that a thing? Is there a reverb emote? Where are the Halbs? Hey, Sharky. Good to see you. Hey, Robo. You left your pants in my room. Oh, boy. Robo and I got a little frisky. Looks like this Mangonel will go down for cheap. Spring's Castle Age play might work. He's pushing in here with pikes. Certainly has the better army right now. Very large group of Cav Archers from him. Seems to be able to make a push there. MBL roaming around, left to his own devices on the left side. Should be able to raid and kill some villagers there. Spring's just reluctant to push in. Needs to pick one big battle and take it. But, you know, he'll click to Imp. Never mind. I thought he was all in on this castle play, but Spring somehow got up the resources, got up the courage and the chutzpah to move up to the next stage. Still camping this hill with pikes, still cranking those out. Forging on the way. We shall see. Spring is only a castle and MBL doesn't need them. Looks like a comeback. Can you show the relic count? Of course. Relic count at the moment is 2 relics for the bye-bye man. Just picked them up a moment ago. 0 relics at the moment for Spring. Spring still has a good bit of map control. I'd say that he's not in that bad of a position here. Trying to do a little raiding, trying to do a little annoyance. A little behind on the score. But, you know, could be worse. This TC on the front under pressure. I think that's a important part of the map for Spring. Should have a castle soon. So should MBL. Both guys should be castling up soon. 2 more stables coming for the blue player. Lots of skirmishers out for the bye-bye man. MBL does love his skirms, and he's going to get some pretty good trades here. One-shotting Cav Archers. Just very happy to stand and fight. Gonna knock down quite a few Cav Archers here from Spring for pretty damn cheap. Spring has to respond to this, I suppose, to keep his town center up. Doesn't have any knights just yet. So, you know, having to trade a lot of Cav Archers for skirms there. Pikeman starting to come in for the blue player. MBL is going really, really deep into elite skirms. And all of a sudden, MBL's position doesn't look quite as sexy as it did a minute ago. That clandestine gold mining camp is mined out. All of these villagers are going to die. They're not coming home for Christmas. But, you know, Spring controls some gold on the left of the map. He controls the middle of the map nicely, camping out on top of this hill. More stables coming. Still has a bit more gold to mine. MBL needs to secure this front gold, and he's going to do that with his first castle on the map. Trying to hold the line with elite skirms until that castle goes up, but man, if Spring senses something is amiss, he can definitely deny this castle. We will see if Spring can deny this castle. For now, there's just not enough knights. Heavy Cav Archer is in. Spring will go Halb. He actually did see the foundation of that castle coming in, but there's just not enough here for him to stop it. Halb can come in and probably clean this up and push this back, but the castle's going to get completed on that side. Heavy Cav Archer roaming into the back. Whoa, Spring is... Wow, he is overcompensating like a madman. Sending back 30 Heavy Cav Archers to deal with 4 Cavalier, and that's leaving his front line a little bit decimated. Castle comes up on the front for the red player. He is still roaming around. Look at the Cav Archer from Spring. Spring's got 30 Cav Archers versus 3 Cavalier here. He's going to kill those 3 Cavalier pretty quickly. But a huge amount of units there. Spring still pushing on the front with Halbs. MBL has transitioned into some light cav for now. Siege Workshop's coming for the blue player. Capt Ram on the way for Spring. Is MBL going to pop a Treb out? No, just some villagers inside that castle. So, Castle Arrow Fire should take down these Halbs. Spring, though, able to kill a couple cavalry on his way out. Still chasing units around the map. Blue player expanding his eco off to the left side. TC is still up over here, notably. Spring went Capt Ram. Presumably he is massing some Rams. Looks like 4 Siege Workshops, I do believe, for the blue player. Still a ton of heavy Cav Archer. Very beefy unit. Should be able to hold the middle of the map pretty nicely. Spring had the stone for castle, but I didn't see it come down. MBL building stables on the left side. I still don't know if Spring built that. Let's see. 0 castles for Spring. There you go. Relics are now 3 for MBL and 0 for Spring. So Spring here losing out on some free gold. But he will have a nice train of Rams on the way in somewhat soon. Hussar upgrade is in for MBL. Spring here is losing a lot of Cav Archers to the Castle Arrow Fire. Needs to be a little more careful here. He's taking a ton of damage on those units. Hussar will run in. We'll see what Spring can get done. Should be able to snipe quite a few of those down. Oh, Pyramid Stiff God. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, he missed it by 1. 150 Vils says Europe for MBL. MBL on 150. Oh, sweet Jesus. Hey, Bullets here. Yo, yo, yo. AOC Butcher says, pfft. Looks like for the moment, Spring's going to cling to this hill. MBL pushing up this hill with a lot of trash units. As somebody in the chat said, 150 damn villagers. MBL starting to build stables all over the right side of the economy of Spring. But Spring is kind of ready there with a couple Halbs. Red player is looking around for those last couple monks. That one is trapped, so MBL won't be able to grab that. But he's grabbed 3 others. Seems to be holding the line pretty nicely. 860 gold in the bank for MBL. He's playing this out with a lot of trash. He's pop capped, but he has tons of gold in the bank. So maybe MBL kind of challenging himself to try to finish this game off without using all of his gold. A couple Trebs on the front for him. Should unpack soon and start knocking down some buildings. Still, bottom of the hill, we've got Elite Skirms putting down some good damage on those heavy Cav Archers. Heavy Cav Archers and a couple of light Cav roaming around for the blue player looking to raid. They're going to find some good spots to raid. 143 Vils for MBL, who I think would do okay with losing about 15 villagers or so right now. I think that wouldn't be so bad for him. The bye-bye man here, floating 1,200 food, 1,700 wood. Not a whole lot of food in the bank, but eventually he'll get that all sorted out. Hussar continuing to roll out. Spring with a bit of raiding on that side. Spring continues to hold this hill, and Spring continues to not have a castle to his name. Spring has yet to build a castle. Been selling his stone, I would guess. Oh, there it is. There it is, boys. Right when you ask for it, that is when you shall receive it. Castle up on the hill protects the extra stone piles here on the side. Spring still clinging to the middle of the map. Ram soaking up quite a lot of damage. MBL is still sending in Hussar against all odds. Seeing if he can snipe a few Rams here and there. Spring kill his excess Vil to save him time. Why Hussar though, says Pyramid Stiff. I think Hussar is a good choice at this point in the game. There's quite a few units on the map. Yeah, it's an expensive upgrade, but I mean, when you've built as many as MBL has, he's probably built 100 at this point. I think it's probably worth it. Let's see. Hussar raiding into the economy now of Spring. Spring still holds that big, most important hill. His castle under Treb fire for now, so he's got to respond to that. Rams would be a good response, but he's only got 3 left. Too many Hussar in between here and there to really get to those Trebs. Castle will probably drop. Hussar roaming through the economy of Spring, and unfortunately, this looks like the end of the end for our last American hope. We need an American who could beat MBL, but today, at least in the 2 games we've seen, I don't think it's going to be Spring. Losing a lot of units here to Elite Skirms and the trash of Mibble. as they call them, 1,800 gold in the bank, 3,000 wood. Castle's going to drop. Life could be better, I think. This is tough times for the old US of A. We're going to see at least one treb go down. Blue player trying to go treb on treb. Castle drops. Again, raiding continues throughout the economy. 95 villagers, but 22 idols for spring. Military numbers continue to drop. Let's see what his resources look like. His resources look GG. Spring will give the good game. MBL will grab the win. And in the end, we'll see 2 games in a row that the bye-bye man, Mr. MBL, is able to take. Very nice game there. We'll quickly look at the achievements. And then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to call it a day over here. 1.5k gold for MBL, 102.50. 150 villager high. 102.50. Doesn't even make sense. Anyway, going to jump out of here, guys, and throw a host over to our buddy MBL. Hopefully he's going to stay online a little bit longer.